My name is Erica, and today we'll be doing a 1-hour yoga practice. Set aside some space so you have enough room for your mat, and if you don't have one, feel free to use a towel or another blanket to cushion the floor when we do our lying down postures. Throughout this practice, I'll be offering you some different variations, and please feel free to use a variation that feels best to you today, and that may change day to day. But one great benefit of our yoga practice is cultivating a level of self-awareness where we can challenge ourselves yet honor what we're dealing with in the moment, perhaps injuries or fatigue, or maybe we just need to cultivate a softer approach. And so I encourage you to explore those. Today we'll begin in child's pose. And just for you, if you don't know, I do have a knee injury that doesn't allow my knee to flex as the other one, so you just do as I say and a bit less as I do. We'll begin with our knees about mat width apart or wherever feels comfortable. Allow the pelvis to sink towards the heels and just find the arms in a comfortable position. Maybe the hands will stack and the forehead soften into the back of the hands. Or maybe they'll lengthen out and the forehead can drop into the mat. Allow yourself to arrive both in body and mind. Begin to cultivate an awareness of the breath. And do so as an observer. So at this moment in time, we're not trying to manipulate or control the breath. Just increasing our awareness of the flow in and out. In child's pose, the compression of the front body facilitates a deeper opening of the back body. And gently notice the rise and fall of the ribs, how the space between the ribs expands with the inhalation, and then gently releases with the exhalation. Throughout the practice, I encourage you to gently, continually focus on what we're doing in this moment. And if your mind wanders or you begin to notice you're thinking about other things, just let that go and return to the present moment. Just as gently as we would encourage a child or a pet. Again, without judgment or worry. We can perhaps begin to deepen the inhalation and exhalation. You can always count the breath. And if you're doing so, try and lengthen the exhalation by a count or two. We'll take one more cycle of breath here. And as we exhale, let's reach the arms forward, sending the palms into the mat and the elbows lift. And then on the inhalation, we'll come up onto all fours, allowing the hands to be underneath the shoulders, shoulder width apart, and the knees underneath the hips, hip width apart. We'll just take a few breaths here to really feel length throughout the spine, keeping the head a part of the spine. And really taking a moment to connect to our core, We're resisting the pull of gravity by bringing our belly button towards the spine. And we're pressing throughout each surface of the palm of the hands. So we're creating this beautiful arch through the inner arm, expanding through the chest. We'll begin some spinal mobilizations. As you inhale, lengthen the tail and crown of the head towards the ceiling. As you exhale, scoop the belly, pulling into the spine to curve. Moving with the breath, we inhale, supporting with the core. Exhale, scooping, tucking the pelvis under. Good. Inhale and lengthen between each vertebrae. Exhale, curve and round. Inhale, front body lengthens. Exhale, back body expands. Inhale, back to neutral spine. And exhale, find strength there. Inhale, right arm's going to reach to the ceiling, moving into a spinal twist. And exhale that hand down. Other side, inhale, pressing down to lift the left. Exhale, release. With a variation now. The left hand presses down, right arm reaches up. As you exhale, thread that arm through, twisting towards the left. Again, inhale, reach. Head follows the hand. Exhale, belly twists. 2 more. Inhale, twisting from every vertebrae in the spine. Exhale, core pulls you around. Inhale, pressing down. And exhale, feel heavy in the back of the right shoulder. Good. 1 more inhale to reach. And exhale that palm back down to the mat. Other side, inhale, left arm reaches up. Exhale, twist. Inhale, reach. You may notice that one side feels a little bit different. Exhale, allow that to happen. Just breathe into areas as you inhale, twist. Breathe into areas you might feel. Exhale, soften. Inhale, last time, reaching, lengthen. Exhale, belly pulls the torso around. Good. Inhale, reach. And allow the left hand to greet the mat. Good. Reactivating through the core, we'll do some stabilizers here. We'll inhale the left leg and right arm in opposition. Exhale, lower. Good. Trying not to shift the hips. Other side, inhale, reach. Good. Exhale, lower. Good. Right arm, left leg as you inhale. Stay strong in your right glute so the hips don't shift. And release. Good. 1 more time. Pelvis stays neutral as you reach the arm and leg. Exhale, lower. Good. This time we'll inhale, left leg out, right arm up. And then we're going to twist the leg to the side. Arm reaches to the side as well. Firing up the glutes here. Good. Try and keep the breath easy. Nice. And inhale the arm and leg back. And gently lower. Good. I'll twist so you can see the other side. Inhale, find length. Good. Exhale, twist the leg. Good. So we're bringing it to either side. Trying to really reach that leg so it would be almost parallel to the ground. Good. Inhale, lengthen there. And exhale, lower. Good. We're going to fire up the core a little bit. So tuck the toes. And then activating through the core, Just press into the hands and balls of the feet and lift the knees off gently. Just check in with your elbows, see if the elbows have locked. Allow that to have a micro bend. Good, and try and keep the face and the jaw relaxed. Keeping the hips quiet, can you pick up the right toes? And release. Good. Inhale the left toes off. And release. Nice. Staying for one more breath here. Good, and as you exhale, we'll soften the knees down. Just take the weight off the arms for a moment. Good. And let the hands relax or extend, whatever feels the most restful for you in this moment. Allow the breath to return to a calmer place. And we'll move on. If the arms aren't already reached in front of you, please do so. And as you inhale, shift the weight forward, tuck the toes, and press back into our downward facing dog. And as this is our first downward dog, just take a moment to walk through the feet, patting right to left. Good. And in our downward dog, there's a tendency to keep a lot of weight on the hands. So I would encourage you to bend the knees, and then you can sink the weight back towards the hips by pressing energy out through the hands. This will really shift the weight, and that energy will send out through the sit bones, allowing the knees to be as bent as feels good for you. We'll begin to lengthen the back of the legs. As you inhale, lift the heels up. Exhale, lowering back to the mat. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, allow the back of the legs to soften. They don't need to touch, just lower. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lower. Inhale this time. As we lift the heels, we'll begin to walk the feet towards the hands, settling with the feet about hip width apart. And allow the knees to bend generously. Maybe the chest will fall onto the thighs. We can have the hands on the floor, on the shins, or even grasp elbow to elbow. And then just hang in ragdoll for a few breaths, allowing gravity to open the upper back. And you can even shake the head yes and no a few times to release the neck, shoulders, and thoracic. Take this moment to ground down through the feet, allowing the outer edge to connect, the inner arch to support, and just letting that upper torso dance to quiet. If the arms are interlaced, you can let them go. And then with the juicy knee bends, we'll begin to roll up sequentially through the spine. Pelvis reaches to the heels. The belly scoops up. The feet press down, and we stack vertebrae on top of vertebrae. Head is heavy. Shoulders are heavy. And when we come to vertical, allow the gaze to be soft or even the eyes to close. We'll inhale to roll the shoulders and set the shoulder blades on the spine. And just take a moment here to adjust to this new orientation. Feel those edges of the feet. And as if we were a marionette, can you imagine strings attached to the head that gently support the verticality of our torso? The eyes are closed, you can gently open them. And we'll step the feet together towards the front of the mat and move into our sun salutation series. As we inhale, we'll press down to reach the head and hands up to the sky. Exhale, folding from the hips, pausing halfway. Inhale, find strength through the core and inner thighs. Exhale, knees can bend as you fold. Inhale, looking the chest and head forward. Exhale, soften the back body. We'll repeat that a few times. Inhale, reaching the head. Exhale, soften. Hands can always be on the shins. Inhale, looking forward. Exhale, scoop the belly as you fold. This time, inhale, reaching back halfway. Pausing as you exhale. Pressing down as you inhale to rise. And exhale, allow the shoulders and arms to soften and return to neutral. Again, inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding from the hips, pausing halfway. Easy shoulders, easy jaw. And exhale, fold. Good, inhale, reaching the chest and head. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the palms, step the right foot back, long lunge. Take weight into the feet as you inhale, you can lengthen the chest again. Exhale, plant the palms, step back, high plank. And I would like everybody to lower the knees to the mat. And then as if you have invisible strings attached to your elbows, they're pulling in the direction of your feet, and we're going to slowly, with control, lower our chest to the mat, keeping the pelvis neutral. So we have one diagonal energy. Good. Once you come down, you can untuck the toes. And as we inhale, we'll roll the shoulders back, reach the chest, and come into cobra. We're going to stay for a few breaths here. And in this, can we activate even more through the core? So bringing the belly button towards the spine. Good. And those invisible strings continue to pull the elbows towards the feet as we engage the upper back. And we can test this by just hovering the hands. Good. And staying nice and easy in the breath. And again, engage through the core so we're not pressing into the belly. Good. And let the hands lower. And then as you exhale, press the chest up and hips come back into our downward facing dog. Good. And allow the breath to return easy and full. And just take a moment of self-inventory here. Are you grounding down through every part of the hand, the fingertips, the palm, and the knuckles? And just take note of where your heels are. They should be hidden so that the feet are exactly parallel. And just allow the gaze to fall between the feet. Nice. On the bottom of the next exhalation, bend the knees, look forward, step the right foot between the hands, long lunge. Inhale, reach from the heel to the head. Exhale, bend the back knees, spring off, 2 feet meet. Press down to reach the chest away, and exhale, fold. Inhale, rising halfway and pause. Exhale, stay strong. Inhale, scoop the core, reaching the body back up to vertical. And then exhale, lowering the arms. Other side, ground down to reach up. Exhale, fold, pause halfway. Inhale, zip up the inner thighs and core. Exhale, knees soften as we fold. Inhale, looking forward, hands on the shins or floor. Exhale, bend the knees, left foot steps back, long lunge. Inhale, reach the head and chest. Exhale, plant the palms, step back, high push up. You can lower the knees or keep them lifted. And as you exhale, we'll support with the core, lowering the chest. Untuck the toes, round the shoulders, and reach the chest out and away.
Exhale, press up and back, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Easy knees, strong hands, full breath. One more. As the bottom of your next exhale, allow the knees to bend, look forward, step the left foot between the hands, long lunge. Inhale, reach from the heel to the head. Exhale, bend the back knee, spring off, 2 feet meet. Pressing down to send the chest away as you inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rising halfway and pause. Exhale, stay strong through the legs. Inhale, reach the body up to vertical. Exhale, hands soften. Without stopping, inhale to rise. Exhale all the way down. Inhale, chest shines. Exhale, knees bend, right foot back, long lunge. Inhale, press down. This time, arms are going to reach up. Exhale, hands plant, step back, high push-up. 1 strong breath here as we inhale. Exhale, the knees can lower, elbows hug through the sides as the chest comes down. Inhale, the shoulders roll back, chest scoops, cobra. Exhale, press up and back, downward facing dog. We're going to move into our one-legged downward dog variation. If this is too much for you in downward dog, you can always do it on all fours. If you are doing it on all fours, please gently kiss the knees to the mat now. Otherwise, step the left foot to the center of the mat. Inhale the right heel up, moving into a one-legged downward dog. Exhale, scoop the belly in and bring the nose towards the knee, shifting the weight forward. Exhale, kick the heel away, sending it long. Good, again, inhale, belly brings you in, scoop. Exhale, reach from the heel to the hands. One more time, belly brings you in, curve. Exhale, send the energy away. Good, last time, curve. Good, and we're gonna stay here for 5, 4, strong core. Press the ground away, 2, 1. Deepen the curve more. Step that right foot so it's planted. Good, and from this lunge, we're gonna ground down through the feet, reach the chest up. In our lunge, we want to lengthen the back hip here. So I've talked about in our classes this idea of energetic suspenders. So we can often think about this as opening the front body, but then we compress through the back. So can we engage through the core? You can take your thumbs, bring them to the lower ribs, and the fingers to the top of the pelvis, to your hip bones. And we just want to imagine as if we have a girdle, that space would connect together. You can allow the back knee to soften a little bit, or to lengthen, just play with that there. And then from that grounded place, allow the shoulders to be soft and the arms reach towards vertical. Take one more breath here. Good, and then as we exhale, bring the palms to either side of the front foot, bend the back knee, spring off, 2 feet together. Inhale, shine the chest. Exhale, fold. Inhale, pressing down to reach all the way up to vertical. And easy head, easy shoulders, hands fall. Other side, inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen the back body. Exhale, plant the palms. Left leg steps back, long lunge. Grounding through the feet, reach the head and arms up. Exhale, plant the palms. Step back, high plank. Exhale, elbows hug in as you lower. Always an option to go to knees. Inhale, shoulders roll back, belly scoops, chest lifts, cobra. Exhale, press up and back, downward facing dog. Just taking a moment to sort our downward dog out so we're feeling really supported through the arms. And again, if you're doing this version on knees, you can always go onto all fours now. Otherwise, step the right foot to the center of the mat. And as you inhale, kick the left heel up and away. Exhale, belly scoops, weight shifts forward. Inhale, reach the heel away. Exhale, strong core, curve. Inhale, lengthen. One more time, belly comes in. Exhale, hands press out. And then shifting the weight forward, we'll stay strong through the core. Build up some strength. Good, keep that knee lifted. And then plant the left sole of the foot on the mat. So we're into our other leg lunge. Set the feet really strongly. And as we inhale, we'll reach the arms up to vertical. If you found that very useful, you can find your suspenders. So again, thumbs to lower ribs, fingers to upper pelvic bones, and then just find that strong energetic connection there. We can also encourage this back hip to move towards the back heel. Our left hip towards the back heel, and our right hip is going to move forward, so our hips are very nice and neutral. And from that strong square place, you can allow the arms to be soft and easy on top. Good, breathing energy into the front of that right hip, through the hip flexors and psoas. Nice. One more breath. And as we exhale, we'll float the palms back down. Bend the back knee, spring forward, 2 feet meet. And let's just open up the feet here so they're hip width apart. We're going to bend the knees a lot. And with our index and middle finger, our peace sign fingers, we're going to scoop up the big toes. So we'll move them toward in between the big and second toes, and then allow them to curl under. And I'll just turn so you can see. As we begin to fold, we'll use the strength of our arms to pull the chest down. And we'll allow the elbows to float to either side. Good, stay really centered on the feet. The tendency is to pour the weight onto the heels. Can you shift the weight up and forward? Good, and really allow the knees to bend here. So we're trying to make this a movement from our hips and not just our lower back. It will get great benefit too, but we want to make both parts happy. Good, and just allow the exhale to release the hands. We'll bend the knees again and just gently roll up, using that strong core to scoop and stack each vertebrae on top of one another. Again, the heavy head is the last thing to come up. And we'll just meet at the front of the mat in Tadasana. And we'll move into a balance and warrior sequence. So shift the weight onto the right foot. Inhale the left knee up. Exhale, allow that left knee to open to the left. And then bring the sole of the foot on to the lower shin or the inner thigh. So long as the foot does not press onto the knee, it doesn't really matter. You'll still get the same benefit. And let's have the hands on the hips. And then we'll bring the left hand to the inner left thigh. And we're just like as if we were drawing a bow and arrow. We're going to encourage the right hip open to the right and the left hip open to the left. After we've done that, we can allow the hands to come in prayer to heart center. And we're just going to gently press down through the thumbs to encourage the chest. As if we could inflate from the bottom sole of the foot
into the hands and then out through the crown of the head. And if you notice this small little shaking dance happen, or maybe you fall out and you have to come back in, those are all great. This proprioceptive dance is what actually trains our balancing muscles. From there, we're going to step the left foot back with the toes pointing out and the heel towards the center. And then again, just bring the hands to the hips. Allow the front knee to soften, and we'll come into warrior one. So just as we were focusing on our hips being nice and square in our lunge, let's take our right hand, and we're going to do some karate yoga. And we're going to slice that right hip back. Good. Find our energetic suspenders from the ribs to the hips. And then from here, we can float the arms up. Good. Feel the outer edge of the left foot connected. And just note where your right knee is tracking. Is it falling over the center of the right foot, or is it dropping to the inside or to the outside? We want to really maintain alignment there. Let's bring the hands down, thumbs down, and then scoop the hands behind, interlacing the fingers. As we inhale, we'll press the chest to the front and reach the hands to the back heel. Good, staying strong through the core. That will protect the lower back. We're just going to open up through the chest here. Nice, and one more breath. And as we exhale, we can let that go. Inhale the arms up, and then we're going to open up into warrior two. So you can lengthen your stride a little bit. We want our back heel parallel to the back foot. The back foot parallel to the back of the mat, and the front toes pointing forward. Let's have the hands on the hips. And then as we sink, let's track our knee again over the center. You can actually have the right hand on the outside of the right knee to press into that hand. Good. From there, allow the hands to come to the ribs and gently spiral the ribs to the left. And then float the arms into T position. Turn the head so that the gaze falls over the middle fingers. Feel expansiveness in the front and the back body. And if you really feel this tug of war of energy between the hands, you can actually feel the stretching in the arm muscles. We're going to move with a breath here. Flip the front hand up, and then we're going to reach up and arc back into our dancing warrior. And then exhale, right elbow comes to right knee. Inhale, left arm up for side angle pose. Moving with the breath, inhale, reach. And exhale, side angle, heel to hand, long line. 2 more times, inhale up. And exhale, keep the hips low. Inhale, reach, 2 long sides. Good, and a light touch of that right elbow. We'll inhale to T. And then windmill the arms to either side of the front foot, spiral the back heel up, and step back into high plank. We'll exhale, lower all the way to our chest. Inhale, coming up to cobra, strong core. Exhale, press up and back, downward dog. 2 more breaths here. And at the bottom of your next exhalation, bend the knees, look forward, step the right foot between the hands. Inhale the chest long. Exhale, spring off the back foot, 2 feet together. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, arms float down. Good, other side, pouring the weight onto the left foot. Inhale the right knee up. Exhale, open the knee to the side and bring the sole of the foot to the shin, or again the inner thigh. Allow the hands to come to the hips, and then the right hand can gently encourage the right knee to the right, and the left hand can encourage the left knee open to the left. So it's almost like a book opening, so two sides are spiraling in opposite direction. Good, let's bring the hands in prayer to our heart center. And we'll just take a few full, easy breaths here, allowing our gaze to fall on one point. And just taking that easy dance of balance without judgment or worry. And we'll exhale that right foot to the back. The toes point towards 2 o'clock and the heel towards the center. With an easy bend of the front knee, we'll have that. We can encourage, again with our karate chop, the left hip towards the back as if the hip would meet the back heel. And encouraging our invisible suspenders to engage our core. From there, we'll float the arms up. And let's bring the arms down, thumbs point down. We'll reach the hands behind and interlace the other direction. And then as we inhale with a strong core, we'll send the chest and hands in opposite directions. Reaching ecstatically with the chest, and again, see if you lift the arms up, if you can get an even deeper opening with the chest. And we'll exhale, let that go. Inhale the arms up. And then we'll move into Warrior Two. Again, heel toes to allow the stance to open up slightly. And I'll just turn so you can see me better. With the back heel and foot parallel to the back of the mat, and the front foot parallel to the sides. Let's have the hands on the hips, and then allow the left hand to come to the outside of the left knee. And then we'll sink the knee down. From there, we can have that same bow and arrow action. Just watching that the front knee doesn't drop in, and then just allow the arms to float. Feeling strength and power through the legs, and ease and grace through the torso and arms. We'll move with the breath, flip the front hand up. Inhale, we'll trace a rainbow across the ceiling, feather-light touch of the right hand. And exhale, left elbow to left thigh, reach the right arm long. Inhale, two sides, long as you stretch up and back. And exhale from the right foot to the right hand, one long line. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lengthen, sink the hips. And last time, easy shoulders. Exhale over. Good. Inhale the arms to T position. Windmill the hands to either side of the foot. Spin the back heel. Step back, high plank. Exhale, lower elbows hug in. Inhale, coming to cobra. Scoop the belly up. And exhale, let's press back and into child's pose. I'll just spin around again. So allow the knees to be wide. Sink the hips down. And just let the forehead melt either into the mat again or into the back of the hands. You can even stack fists on top of fists. Whatever gives you most access to release. And from this place, we're going to try and stay calm and easy, but build some strength. So we'll move into our core series. Let's come on to all fours. From here, let's shift the pelvis forward. So we're making one long diagonal from our knees to the crown of the head. You can stay here, or if you're up for a greater challenge, lift the knees off the floor by tucking the toes and pressing the knees up. I'm going to show this version, but again, anytime you can come onto your knees. So we'll zip up through the inner thighs. Keep the buttocks soft with a strong core strong. We're just going to come down onto our elbows. Again, interlace the hands. And we're going to try and keep the pelvis low. So we're not making a teepee bum here, but we're sinking the pelvis low. So again, whether we're on our knees or the knees are lifted, we have one long line of energy from the heels out through the head. Yeah, we're going to move into side plank. So let's pour the weight onto the outside of the left foot, stack the feet on top of one another, and then we can bring the hand to the hip. And let's imagine that we could press the hips into the hand. So again, we're not allowing that to sink, and that will fire up those glutes on the right side. You can inhale the left arm up, allow the gaze to look up as well, and maybe the left leg can float up an inch or two, and maybe not, and that's okay. If it is up, allow it to meet back, and then we'll come back 2 feet square. Take one breath here, and we'll shift to the other side. Moving to the outside of the left foot, stacking the right foot on top. Allow the right hand to come to the right hip and press up into that hand to lift the underside. Good, allow the right hand to reach up maybe. If not, that's okay too, and the gaze can follow the hand. And then maybe the right leg just floats. Good, and that dance we found in tree will happen here as well. Good, 2 feet together again. We'll rock one more time onto plank. One full breath here, stay strong and easy in the mind. You can do this. And then allow the knees to come in and the hips to sink back. Child's pose. Allow the heart rate and the breath to settle. And just maybe take note of what you are saying to yourself. Hopefully through our yoga practice, we can begin to cultivate a positive self-talk. And so we can encourage ourselves and challenge ourselves, but do so in a way that is supportive instead of impeding our progress through judgment. Good. And then just use the strength of your hands to bring the torso up. Shift the hips over to one side and swing the legs around. We'll move into one more core sequence. Sitting tall with the feet planted flat on the ground. You can keep the hands behind the knees, just on the hamstrings. Or as we go, you can elongate the hands in front. We're just going to begin by tilting the chest back, staying tall through the spine. Good. Again, the hands can float here or remain behind the knees. And reach up. Good. Just let the action come from the hips as you lower with control. And then as if there's something attached from the chest to the ceiling, stay lifted there and then increase the strength to bring it up. One more time, tilt back. Good. Let's stay here. We'll move into a variation of boat. Can you deepen the core to lift the right leg off? Again, scoop and tilt back a little bit more, left leg. Nice. You can always bring the hands here. Reach the right leg up to the ceiling. And lower. Left leg up, sternum is tall. And lower. Last time, 2 legs up. And lower. One more time for good luck. Chest to toes reach. And lower. And rock forward. Good. And just allow the legs to lengthen in front. And maybe give them a little shake out. This time we're going to do a roll down, and instead of tilting back, we're actually going to sequentially roll through the spine. So we're going to make a J action. So easy shoulders, keeping the shoulder blades on the back. We're going to begin by scooping up and back with the lower abdominals and then reach the lower back towards the floor. Flex the toes up to the face. Send energy out through the heels and scoop up the pelvis. So we're making this backward circle of energy. Pause here, pressing through the thighs. Good, lower a little bit more. Reach that lower back to the ground, and then gently the lower ribs will touch and then melt through the spine. Head is the last thing to come down. Good, we'll just go into one variation here on our back. We'll inhale the hands to either side and then bring both knees to tabletop. Again, keep thinking about that backward circle to keep the pelvis in line. We're just going to do a few pulses here. Inhale up and lower and reach. Good. Scoop, stay strong through the pelvis. Good. Halfway there. Nice. Easy head, easy jaw. Good. 2 more. Lift and lower. Stay strong. Hold there. Right leg straightens and in. Left and in. Right and in. Left. Good. Again, reach. Stay long. Push and in. 1 more. Each leg. Scoop the pelvis. Roll. Good. Now with the twist. Right leg straightens. Right elbow comes to the left knee and in. Switch left side and right arm and leg and in. Halfway there. Good. Keep breathing. Easy. You can do this. Stay strong in your mind as we build strength in our body. And last one. Good. Ease the shoulders back. Draw the knees into the chest and rock side to side. Good. Allow the right knee to stay in to the chest as the left leg extends along the mat. Keep feeling as if we would be standing on that leg so you can flex the feet in. And let's interlace the hands behind the knee or on the hamstring if they're not already there. And together we're going to inhale, kick the heel away through the ceiling, and exhale, soften. Inhale, reach. Exhale, melt the knee. Good. Gently continue to pull the knee into the chest as you kick and lower. Perhaps this one goes a little bit further. Good, and hold there. We're going to do a PNF stretching. So using the strength of your arms, you're going to hold the leg in as your leg tries to close. So we're kicking down with the leg, but our arms are actually pulling our chest in. So you can hold wherever is comfortable. And if you hand grab your leg, you can always use a towel around your foot or the back of the hand, or the back of the leg, sorry. So we'll begin here, and we'll kick down for a count of 5. Closing the leg for 5, 4, strong push 3, 2, 1, let it go. Good, and this active lengthening may create a little bit more room in the end range. Again, here we go, closing the leg for 5, 4, keep the left thigh strong, pressing against the ground, 1, and release. Good. And just notice if you're taking too much tension in your shoulders. And this is the last time. Ready to close the leg for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Allow that knee to soften in. Good. Allow the right arm to open to the right. The left knee, the left hand will come to the top of the right knee. And then we're just going to ease that knee over to the left, allowing the gaze to fall to the right, coming into a spinal twist. And just breathing here, allowing the breath to be long and full. And then with each inhalation, we try to create more length through the spine. And with every exhalation, we surrender a little bit deeper into the twist. Last cycle of breath. And as you inhale, deepen the core to pour the weight onto the back. Good. Allow the left knee to bend up so the sole of the foot is on the ground. And then we're going to interlace the hands around that left leg. We'll flex the right toes to protect the knee joint. And then we're going to encourage the legs towards the chest. And it's very easy to let the lower back round away from the floor. We want to imagine that there's a suction cup on the lower back and we're actually pressing the pelvis and the sacrum or tailbone into the floor to create a sacrum seal. Can you perhaps use the right elbow into the thigh or knee to just encourage that right knee to the side? And then sending energy out the right hip to deepen that stretch. And again, with all of these postures, and any places that you feel tightness or holding, if you can actually mentally send the breath to those areas to create more openness and spaciousness. And as you exhale, just allow the arms to release the leg and the leg to unfold. And then we'll just open through butterfly position, so allowing the soles of the feet to come together and the knees to drop open. We'll just stay here for a breath. The hands can maybe fall open as well. And then we'll pull the legs long, coming into brief Shavasana here. We'll come into the sequence on the other side. Engage through the legs, bringing the feet together as if we were standing on them. And then we'll inhale the left knee into the chest. And we can just massage the lower back by rocking side to side. And then with the feet flexed up towards the face, let's interlace our hands behind the left leg. And as we inhale, we'll kick the heel to the ceiling. Exhale, release. Inhale, lengthening up. Exhale, soften. Keep the thigh reaching towards the chest as you kick the leg. Good, and ease the leg down. And last time, inhale, heel rises. And we'll stay there. Moving into our PNF, keeping the left thigh long. We'll close the leg, kicking for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Good, and again, perhaps you can notice that the leg can soften a little bit more. Finding strength from the core, pressing the thigh of the right leg down. We'll kick away for 5, 4, easy jaw, 3, soft eyes, 2, 1, release. Nice. Sending a little love to the back of the hamstring. We'll do one more time. Here we go. Closing for 5, 4, 3. Stay strong. Breathe. 1, and let it go. Let the knee bend. Left hand falls to the left. Right hand comes to the left knee and just gently guides that left knee over to the right as the gaze falls to the left. And in this spinal twist, we want to encourage the spiral to happen through each vertebrae. So we're not twisting from one spot, but easing into the twist with each vertebrae. And I find sometimes if I go in too quickly that I actually create a drawback response. So can you just soften into it as if you're stepping into a pool delicately with your big toe, testing the water first, and then sliding in
as opposed to a big cannonball. Allow the groin to soften. Feel the weight of the back of the left shoulder melting. The ribs and upper back into the floor or towards that direction. And as you inhale, use the strength of the core to pour the weight back. And we'll inhale the right knee up so the foot is on the floor. We'll interlace the hands around the back of the right leg. Flex the left toes. And then come into our glute stretch here. Finding softness and openness throughout the hips. And again, not allowing the strength of our arms to pull the pelvis off the floor, but in fact pressing the lower back and sacrum into the floor. Encouraging that left knee open. Good. And I find sometimes, depending on the direction I pull, you can access a different area of your glutes. So if it's more to the right or to the left, so you can just play with that and find what speaks to you today. Good. And just exhale and allow that to let go. And then allow both feet again to come to the mat. And you can open the legs into Baddha or butterfly. Or if you prefer, you can allow the legs to pull long for your Shavasana. So again, either staying in butterfly or with the legs long. And just take a moment to perhaps set the shoulder blades on the spine. Allow the eyes to close if they're not already. And maybe the hands fall softly at the sides with the palms open so that we can access a place of surrender. Begin to gently scan through the body. Drawing the breath in through the toes. You can even imagine light entering through each body part. Or visualize, as I sometimes like to, that you're lying on the beach. And that as the tide comes in, the water gently covers the toes. And as the tide goes out, the heels sink into the soft sand. And with each wave, the water moves up and the body sinks. Feel the breath move into the shins, the knees, feel it surround the front and back of the thighs, into the buttocks and the hips. Feel the breath fill the belly and gently surround all of the organs within the torso. Feel it curl around the ribs in the front and the back. Caressing in through the shoulder, spreading wide through the shoulder blades, melting the long bones of the arms, and the forearms, easing through the palms of the hand, the thumb and the fingers. Feel the breath as it travels up the spine, all the way to the top. Buoyant through the skull and the bones of the face. And then feel how heavy, weighted the outer tissues, the skin and the muscles, they fall and sink towards the earth. The internal organs falling towards the back of the body, the brain resting in the hammock of the skull. And as we are filled completely and fully with breath or light or caressed by the water, can you feel this spaciousness that is the entirety of your body? And gently take a mental picture and perhaps a physical imprint of what it feels like in your body, in your mind, and maybe even emotionally. Know that you can access this place whenever necessary. And the gateway is your breath. Begin to bring your awareness back to the present moment and your physical body. You can wiggle your toes and nose, maybe gently rub the tips of your fingers together. And then on your own time, gently pour the weight onto the right side, shifting into a comfortable position, perhaps reaching the arm over the head and allowing the head to fall and rest like a pillow. And once you have arrived, allow the body to reorient to this new position. And taking as much time as you need, use the strength of your arms to bring you to a seated vertical position. Can be cross-legged or in butterfly or with the legs stretched in front or perhaps even kneeling. And wherever you are, just allow the eyes to soften, the hands to come into prayer as your heart center, and just bow the head. And I would like to leave you with a quote. Opposition is a natural part of life. Just as we develop our physical muscles through overcoming opposition, such as weightlifting, we develop our character muscles by overcoming challenges and adversity. And that quote is by Stephen Covey. I thank you for sharing your practice with me today, and I wish
that whatever obstacles and challenges you face, that you know you have the strength and capacity to overcome anything. Thank you for sharing your practice. Namaste.